Hey everyone. So today we wanted to talk about what AI means for MSPs and where we see AI comes into the MSP work and in general IT work. So let's start with kind of the progression of where things are at right now. We think that there are three stages of AI adoption for IT, but also for other stuff. Okay, so right now we see a lot of bolted AI agents that sits on top of existing infrastructure and tooling that MSPs already use. So if you already have your RMM or your PSA or whatever, AI will assist you with the management of those tools. So you will connect them with connectors, you will connect them with MCP servers or whatever, and then you're going to you can ask Claude or whatever AI you're using to execute a job for you. It will aggregate everything, and then you will tell it what to do. But that's kind of the phase one. And this is almost becoming the old way of doing things, because a lot of the things right now are being shifted into I only need to approve. So the AI will identify the problem, will propose me what to do. I'm going to hit the button, and then the work actually going to get done. And this is phase two. AI run you the tools on its own. So it suggests you what to do. There are certain guardrails, and then the job get executed. And what we envision to happen is stage three, which is AI identify an issue, fix it on its own, and only on a very specific cases will come back to you to ask for approval or intervention as a human. We also think that the infra layer that sits below the AI is going to get commoditized as times passes, and this is kind of our old thesis for OpenFrame Core. That's why we utilize everything under single type of data layer and execution layer, but everything underneath is completely open source. And we think it's going to happen in more industries. So imagine that rather than having you need to operate something or you need to be 24/7 available to approve things that the AI is doing, the AI is generating insights based on a unified data model, then automatically finds way to remediate them, and only on a very, very, very specific cases and very extreme cases will come back to you and ask for it. That's kind of the multi-agent, self-healing, self-automated MSP that we see that is going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months. And that's kind of how we see also OpenFrame comes into play when we talk about this type of phase three, stage three AI MSP. So we have OpenFrame tooling, which is a complete set of tools that takes everything from RMM, PSA, remote access control, executing a script, defining a policy, scheduling a script, all those type of things that can be accessed using unified execution layer. Plus on top of it, unified data models. So once something is getting output out of those tools, it's getting unified under one data structure and one database and can be easily queried by AI. And then on top of it, two AI agents that do two things. First, client side technician. Okay, so someone complains about a problem, and then and then the AI goes in and trying to figure out what's the problem is and suggest fixes for that. But also proactive approach, meaning that because we have already unified data model, we can configure data collectors, we can see things like someone is trying to reset his password more than twice, we can go in and fix it even without the user actually complaining about it. And that's the essence of stage three, right? Because we can figure out something is wrong using machine learning, not necessarily AI, but then the AI will come in and fix it on its own, even without someone actually complaining about it. We call it event stream. There will be some event that happened, will trigger a set of machine learning algorithms that will figure out exactly what's the insight and what's the issue. Then we'll have AI comes in, fix it, not only for a specific user or specific device, but making sure that the entire fleet is aligned with that. And this is kind of where we see that the MSPs is being turned from a complete service provider into someone that is providing AI work and being liable when something bad happens. Okay, so the MSP needs to configure all of the guardrails, like what the AI cannot do 100%, and only there put the guardrails, and then even operating the MSP from his phone, which is kind of our vision. We want MSPs not needing anymore to carry their computers everywhere and be available 24/7 because someone printer doesn't work. All of this will be able to be done through his phone using approval and natural text, meaning that someone printer was broken, the MSP will be able just to guide Mingo, or even if Mingo already found the insight, will be able to just approve an action for Mingo to get executed and fix it not only for a specific user, but across the organization. So the service level that the organization and the end users are getting is significantly better because it keeps on getting better and better. And every time some issue is getting discovered, it's being fixed across the board, because it's like whether to fix it for one device or for the entire fleet becomes a non-issue. You don't need to have 10 technicians working on this problem once you find it for one. You just ask the AI to do it across the board, and the AI already have all the guardrails in place and have access to all of the devices and all of the users and all of the different objects that you manage in your client's network. So that's kind of where we see things and how we envision MSPs. I think that also we need to be very focused on the profit margins of what we talk about here, because AI tokens can get pretty expensive. Plus, not all existing MSP tools allows you to do everything you want, even if you connect it to something like N10 or others. So you have a lot of different places where there needs to be kind of a specific tailoring of which data is getting ingested, how it's getting ingested, how data is queried by the AI. And that's what I want also to show here for how we look at it from Flamingo. So we have two AI agents. The first AI agent is called Faye, and the second AI agent is called Mingo. Faye is the end user end agent. I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, so that's my testing Windows machine. So you see here that I have Faye always here. That's an open frame chat. Faye is completely customizable, meaning that you can put your technician face here or whatever. So it will look, the experience will be completely transparent, as if you would be talking to a real technician. Also, manual creating ticket is also available here, so the user can do it on its own. You can also see his previous chats, and there's also some quick actions here. Now, as one of your users has some problems with his device, for example, the notorious "my computer is working slow," Faye will figure out what to do, and then we'll have guardrail access to a bunch of things under the hood. So currently we have in the system RMM, remote access control. We have our own SIM. We have MDM, and you see that she's working with RMM. So she's querying stuff, she's digesting information, etc. And she will get back to us with the result. Now, every session that you see here is also being opened as a ticket on OpenFlame PSA. I'll share it in a second. So this is my device, and we also have remote access control, so you can see the chat here. Now, if I'll go to tickets, you will see that I have here the ticket with AI assistance. Now, what can I do in order to fix this ticket? Obviously, I have Start Direct Chat, so if I want to fix it on my own, I can go ahead and do that and then report back to the client, move it between stages, etc. But what's more interesting is that I can also ask the AI to fix it. So let's do this. Let's tag this ticket, computer performance issue. What's the issue with this device? So now the Mingo side, the technician side AI is analyzing the problem, and will get back to us. By the way, also Faye that I showed before, also the client side chat can also fix things on its own. In this scenario, she didn't have anything to fix, but she can definitely go ahead and do that. So right now, the technician side AI is figuring out the problem. So he's also running his own script, thinking. We're using Claude. Also, the AI here is also configurable. You can change it into OpenAI or Claude. And here's the executive summary of what happened. Now you see here that I'm doing it manually. The next stage of this process would be processors that will figure out that this computer is running slow, even without the user complaining. That Mingo receives it, and then it's getting fixed on its own. But let's kind of make the life of Mingo a bit harder. Please suggest and execute actions that will make this device faster immediately. And now you will see that I said before that the layer of the data ingestion is completely unified. So if I'll go head over here to logs, you will see that all the things that Mingo is doing are here. So let's say that you have anomaly detection engines that running on top of those logs. The actions that we took with Mingo will be taken in account also for future analysis. We also have other processes that are running. So we also have policies here. For example, this is an OS query policy that runs every few minutes and digest information and send it to the server. This one specifically is supposed to mimic EDR behavior. Okay, and here we have actions approval. So Mingo is basically asking us, setting visual effects to performance while disabling. Okay, let's approve it. And if we'll go back here, you see that it got approved here. And you see that he's actually executing stuff. Let's wait for the last action. More things that I wanted to show here is the fact that we'll see it in a second, but from the moment we're going to finish this session, good progress, the 3 special succeeded, we will be able, okay, it's asking for more approvals, approved. We will be able to write knowledge base management articles. And then once the AI will experience similar issue in the future, he will be able to query his own written knowledge management articles. And then he will shorten the time period of fixing it. More things. You see that most of it is running on its own, like I didn't need to do anything. I approved this one as well. So the agent is self-learning, meaning that he will write his own knowledge management article, and in the future, he will be able to query them. You can also configure the guardrails that you want. So you can configure here what's the client-side agent can do or not do, and who can approve those requests. So let's do edit settings. You can configure here the policy. And let's say that we want to create our own policy. So I chose use for custom policy. And then you have 3 levels of approvals here. You can either always allow the AI to download files from web. So you have allow, ask user, ask the end user, and it will ask him in a humanly readable language. So he doesn't need to be a technician in order to understand that. Ask technician. So that's kind of the prompts that you saw before, the notifications that I got here, and completely restrict. That will always block those notifications. Okay, we have more approval required. Approve. Okay. See list ticket status. Needs to find resolve target. So it's doing everything. It will also self-associate the ticket into the knowledge management article. Update ticket, updating the ticket, all done. Written a knowledge base article, close the ticket, and update the summary. You see that it's resolved. And here's the summary of what happened. If we'll go to the agent again, we're also going to see here, let's issue with Microsoft. Windows performance, this one. Low RAM device, and if you'll see that it has the full context for everything that happened. So this is kind of like, if we'll go back to where we see the industry right now, we're kind of between 2 and 3. Mingo, still not fully autonomous, but on the upcoming quarter, we're going to have Mingo Insights getting released, which will be machine learning insights generator that will be consumed by Mingo. And you guys as MSP will be able to configure what is getting executed on its own. And this is kind of where we see the industry heading into complete autonomous AI MSP with same or even fewer headcounts on the technician side, and having the MSP owners actually approving stuff directly from their phone. So if you guys go to a birthday party or to lunch or to whatever, and you don't want to carry your computer everywhere, we want to unleash MSP owners from being attached to their computers all the time. So this is kind of the ultimate goal and vision for us. I think that the industry is moving faster than we thought. Okay, so automations, engines, and bolted AI agents are kind of becoming redundant as time passes by. We see more traditional MSP vendors are building their own AI agents that do a lot of more work. And if we go here, you will see that you will move from selling tools into selling real work. And selling real work is where most of the money resides. And this is where we want to put our MSPs. It's not only selling tools and services, it's selling outcomes. Okay. So if someone needs an IT services, that's what's going to be provided. And it doesn't really care if you're using one tool behind the scene or 10. And our tooling plus our AI agent that sits on top of it will provide you the complete vertical OS of doing it. Currently, we're on Gen 1 of the tooling, so you can see that here. But as time will go by, we're just going to cover more and more stuff until we're going to provide all the tooling needed in order for you to run your MSP. I think this is kind of it when it comes to our vision to where AI comes into play. I think when you guys either build your AI stack based on OpenFrame and Flamingo, or you decided to do it on your own, one of the top concerns that needs to be on your notebook is, how do I make sure it's profitable enough? Meaning, and by profitable enough, I mean that you don't spend too much tokens, you don't build the AI on top of very expensive vendors and tooling, and this all makes sense to you, and you don't end up with having very cool and self-healing processes with AI that cost you more than having a real technician or something similar. So this is kind of our 2 cents on where the AI MSP industry is going. If you want to hear more about OpenFrame, or you want to be more involved in what's going on with our open source tooling or with our AI agents, feel free to join our Open MSP community or contact us through our website. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.